Welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome if you're new. What we're using today, we're going to do an emo look. Very dark. Some may say dramatic, so it's going to be black, silver. Let me keep it over here. And brown and red. What I'm taking out are my name sheets. Hi, my name is Dion. I'm a label hoe. And so we're going to be working out of, and also this is kicking off our lethal color combination series. So we're going to be using our 669 palette from, this is our 669 dupe palette. It's a BYOP. So we're going to take the black here. We're going to use, this is Rise from the Ashes. And we will also use this red. And from Rainbow Orchid, we will probably put this on our tear duct area. So we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I'm going to prime the eye. We only did our brows. I'm gonna try and move through this as quickly as possible, which means it might be a long video. I know. I didn't show y'all what they look like together. Let me back up really quick. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, I am always this way, so this is just not a fluke. So 669 dupe, and this is Rainbow Orchid. My channel members helped me name some of my BYOPs. Well, actually all of my BYOPs. And so this is the color stories, but we're only going for black, silver, red, and did I say this one? Yeah, because it's looking yellow, but then it doesn't. And so these are the two palettes that we're going to be using. The emo event is July 5th. And when I looked it up, I'm like, oh, those are my colors right there. Very dark, very bold. Lower lash line liner is blown out. It may be a reverse liner type look as well. Black lip, of course. And so let's just get into it. So first we're going to put on our Sangria City Lip Beauty Oil. I did take the stopper out so that I can get more of the product that was trapped at the bottom. So we're going to put that on. And don't be a picker. I'm a picker. So when I said I had a breakout here and here, this one I didn't pick. And so after I pick, it turns brown for like weeks and weeks and weeks, and then it'll turn back, or it'll go back to my regular color. Well, what are we doing first? City Beauty Brightening Eye Cream. That's what this looks like. This and the Sangria was sent to me in PR. I am a part of their, I am in their partnership program, and y'all know I don't use stuff that I don't like. This does feel good on my skin. Have I noticed brightening? I can't really say because I only use this under concealer for videos, and I'm using two other new to me products for my under eye area. But this is my naked skin except for brows. And so this is what it looks like. This indentation in this one is from my glasses. So we're going to go in with the Y10 from Natasha, and we're going to do like we normally do. And I know that will probably fall. It fell already. Let's just leave it down. And NY11. So Y10 and then NY11. We're going to put here. The face is going to be bare minimum because it is more so just, very dark eyeshadow look, bold, dark lip, thick liner, and the face is just bare. And that's cool with me because you have enough to see with the dark, how dark the look is going to be. And so having a lot of color on the face, and sometimes I will still do that, and then sometimes I don't, because y'all know I just like to do all the things. So we're blending out the Y10 first and coming across here, across the bridge of my nose. And then we're going to come out here where the NY11 is. Let me do the intro. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why? The crazy is knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain tool or a certain technique, or even use a certain brand. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. I don't know about anywhere else, but here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never feeling like we have to. Listen, y'all, Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. So that's what the Crazy Troll Nation stands for. Two things about me: I curse sometimes because I curse sometimes, and there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. I do try to be aware of it to say excuse me. Sometimes one or two will get past me. So we're gonna put, excuse me. I was about to keep talking and I'm like, I just said I try to be aware of it, and then I almost did not say excuse me. So we're mixing our foundation with the primer where we put the eye primer down first. We are not. Girl, get it together. I'm trying. We put down the face primer first, and then we put the foundation on top, and then we mix it together, make a little soup, and then we apply it to our face in tapping motions. And this is what we do. So I did pick out for bronzer Haus Labs Medium Level 7. That was the first one that I purchased because it's natural looking. No, I didn't. I pulled out a darker one. I pulled out Deep Level 11, and I pulled out the Sigma blush that Bestie sent me, Bronze Star, from Sigma Beauty. And so we're going to use those two. So the cheeks are going to be, it's going to be a light cheek situation, and I decided on Bronze Star because the top edge of the blush looks like I have a highlighter on when I don't, and so that'll decrease one product that I usually would use, because the looks, as I said, the face is bare minimum. If they are wearing foundation, it may be one that's too light for them, sort of almost like golf makeup, where they do wear one or two shades lighter of the foundation that they normally would wear that matches their complexion. So the idea is a paler face for some, and you have this really bold black and gray eyeshadow look, which creates a high contrast look, because for if someone is very fair skinned and they have blonde hair, and then they're putting on this deep black eyeshadow and a dark black lip, that creates a high contrast look. I still have not quite a bit, but sometimes I'm done with this by the time I do my forehead, but we still got some left. So I'm just gonna put this places. So I am glad that I got the Sephora Nightbird, their black liquid lipstick, because I will probably use that with Always Red from Sephora. I know I say it every time when I talk about those lippies. That formula only works well with itself, and in a way it's annoying. And that's why I bought Nightbird, which is black, because I have a Notoriously Morbid from black that I haven't used yet. I haven't opened it yet. And we have the black from Matte, which I absolutely love. This is NY12. And we're going to put that here, and we're going to put this up here. Yeah, this one covered really well with the foundation. So we're going to see, we're going to take our Estee Lauder. This is 4N. We're going to put that there. And we may go back in with one of these. I'm not sure. Disrespectful. Y'all, I'm in the pipeline to do 3 more events. One is in, I put in I requested to work at the one in August, and she messaged me back, and I had been in touch with her before about working at events, but that's the one that was like 2.5-3 hours drive away, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm break even. And I covered that really nicely. Wow. So they have events coming up at Baltimore Playhouse, and so I was like, ooh. And so I've been in touch with her, and she's like, oh, Dion, thanks for reaching back out again, da da da. And so she told me look at their page and see their event listings, because they're listed out till the end of the month. The end of the year. And so some are munches and some are parties. And so I was looking at what the parties are and what type of party it was. And in September, I forget what theme it is. It's Renaissance. It's a and it's not called Renaissance, it's called Medieval Times. So it's a medieval theme, and then they have 2 back-to-back nights of Festival of Fears, and so it's Halloween type stuff. And so she wrote me back and said that, well, I sent her those dates, the one in October, the one in September, and the 2 in, no, the one in August, the one in September, and the 2 in October. And so she wrote me back saying, how about we do the one in September and the 2 in October, which are Festival of Horrors, Halloween theme type stuff. And so I do think also that she was thinking about where would my services be best used, because the one in October, excuse me, it says pool party. There's no pool at Baltimore Playhouse, and so it kind of seemed like, okay, will people want makeup or not? You know what I mean? And so I do appreciate that. It does feel like to me that she was taking into account, like, will I or will I not get business? And of course, they don't guarantee it. It's up to the attendees if they want my services or not. But I do appreciate that it does feel to me like she was thinking about that. And so she wanted me to send her a short bio, and price list. And so I'm gonna simplify it because I don't post my price list. So I'm going to simplify it and just give some ranges, because it is going to be important for people to be prepared to spend money. And because the event that we're going for is in September and October, they haven't posted those events yet. And so she said they will promote me, and that's why she wanted some information. And also she will put, contact me for, further questions and stuff like that. And of course, she'll put my FET page, which I've been posting pictures of makeup looks on there. And so I am really excited. Yeah, I am excited about that. And I have lots of time to prepare. This is the cashew powder from Fenty. I'm almost done. And it did last longer than the fashion fair. And at first I wasn't sure, because I need to use more of it just to dry down. The hydrating foundation from Fenty, and also mixing the hydrating primer even with the soft matte foundation. I still need more powder to dry it down than when I was using the fashion fair powder. So I wasn't sure if I was going to use this quicker, because I go through the fashion fair in like 4 to 5 months. This has twice as much product, and so I was still just like, I don't know. But I opened it in November, so the PAO was November this year, and I am almost done. So when this is July 3rd, today is July 3rd, early in the morning. So it does last a long time, even using more, because cost effective, the Fenty setting powder over fashion fair would be it. But I love the fashion fair formula better. And also this, like right now it looks really good, but if I go outside it looks a little reddish, and that's because of the color of the powder, where the fashion fair is my actual shade. But the good thing is, with bronzers and everything, it just looks like what is it I want to say? It just looks like it's part of the bronzer, or doing something to add, warmth to my face, if that makes sense. So that is that. I am trying to move quick, so part of me is telling myself don't talk too much, so then I can just go quicker. But once we get into the eyeshadow, that's the fun stuff. I'm just looking under here at my wrinkles and seeing what's creasing and what's not. So so this is Deep Level 11 from House Labs. So we're going to put this back here, and I am just tapping twice, and then we're going to tap twice again. And so I'm excited about this theme, because y'all know I like dark looks. I was just like, oh, ooh, there's a hole right there. So we're just blending. Blending, blending. Why was I thinking of this old kid song? Y'all want to hear it and be like, she really be on something. Like, what the hell? I was thinking of that song, Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, today. I do not know why. Like an hour ago, I just started singing it. And I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with me? John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. His name is my name too. Whenever we go out, we hear the people shout, John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. La 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 la. I know I slurred something in there somewhere. But if y'all remember that song, let me know. Because I'm like, where the hell in my memory did that pull up from? Like, seriously. I feel like I have an eye booger. We're going to take a lipstick applicator, put it in the tear duct. Yep, there is. And twirl it around and take it out. It really was one. This is looking kind of... I think there's a hole right there. I don't know what's happening. And it's the brush, too. But even though... Because usually I put on blush and highlighter, too, so it covers up, like, whatever. So I'm just like, why are you looking like that? This is the Sigma Bronze Star is the name of it. So we're going to tap in and we're going to do like the top edge of the bronzer here and then come up here. And it didn't even look like, some of them didn't even look like, because I did Google emo makeup looks. And I was like, ooh. I'm like, yeah, I could definitely do that. But I want to have, for each event, I want to have something on my Fet page of makeup with that theme, you know what I mean? And I do post some regular makeup every now and then. So I'm like, as long I love to play face paint, but I can do regular makeup too. Yeah, so that took care of all of that. That was looking like that over there. So it's gonna put a little bit more. So most of the pictures, it didn't look like they even had on blush, and barely looked like they had on highlighter. So the face was really just plain. All right, I am going to take. And their face looked matte too. So I'm looking for, I'm gonna take Mood Light. The one that's up, oof, almost dropped it. Well, I did drop it. My thick thighs caught it. Described as sheer lavender pink. So we're gonna put that under here. Same brush, we're tapping straight in, and you do see it on, and you're like, it does pick up. And we're going to turn it all around all kind of ways. Put this all over the face, except not under my nose. Y'all look at we are gonna put it under our nose. And this is the face. So the face is super simple. I'm gonna spray with the Scandinavia spray. I'm not gonna put a black on my inner rims because number one, I don't have any, because every black eyeliner, regardless of the brand, that I put on my inner rims have irritated my lids. And so I'm sure there's just the pigment or whatever that they use for the black. And eyeshadow, not that it's an eyeshadow, but eyeshadows can have, I think it's like 25 to 30% pigment in it and still be called an eyeshadow. Over that amount, don't quote me on that amount, they have to disclose that it's not intended for use in the eye area. So those are the ones, as far as eyeshadow, that I'm looking at my brows, that I stay away from because they do really irritate my lids. We did the minimum again with brows today, and so we're going to leave it. I was going to say that I put foundation on my forehead, y'all. Yeah, so what are we doing? We're going to, I hope my eyes don't tear for this look. We're going to use two NYX Cosmetics. This one is NYX Vivid Rich, NYX Professional Makeup Vivid Rich Mechanical Liner in Smoke and Topaz. We're going to put this on inner rims and lower lash line. And this one is NYX Professional Makeup Retractable Eyeliner in white. So this one says Vivid Rich. This one doesn't, but I like them because they're retractable, and that is my preference for, can you see me? Excuse me if this freaks you out. So I'm excited to see how this look turns out. And yes, I've done smoky looks before. I had to do what they called a black carbon smoky look, or was it a carbon black look? I think it was a black carbon smoky look. I think that's what they called it in the program. I do have an OMA, Online Makeup Academy playlist if you want to see some of our homework assignments, because I'm like, if I'm gonna do a look, I'm gonna record it. And plus, also, as I said in a couple of those videos, I saw people, you know, saying, oh, the program, and saying what the program is and why they thought it would be good, but I hadn't seen anyone talk about actually being in it and like what their experience was. And so I said, I'm going to change that. And since then, I have heard a couple, well, seen a couple bit video, excuse me. Since then, I have seen a couple videos where people were talking about their experience in the program, and I saw a couple videos. They were saying, you know, is it worth it? That type of thing. But at the time, when I was involved with the program, I had not seen any videos of people talking about their personal experience in the program. And so I talk about that in my experiences, some of the homework, well, actually most of the homework assignments, you know, I did videos, because we just do content here regardless. So the playlist is Online Makeup Academy, which is what I also call OMA for Online Makeup Academy. So that has its own playlist. So we're also going to put this under here, and we're going to bring it down further than we normally do. Even though when I say I'm going to blow down my lower lash line, it's usually never more than this, and sometimes it's even less than this. And when I think about Katie's videos, like, she blows hers down, and she always does like a bold wing with her eyeshadow, and it looks great. I love it. I know somebody who was highly critical of it, but I'm just like, you know, if you don't, I mean, it's preference. If you don't like it, don't just start listing off things and making up reasons on why they shouldn't do it. If they want to do it, let them do it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but I like it because it's different. And she is one of the few people that I've seen that do take their lower lash line eyeshadow down that far. And I've heard it said that if you have like wrinkles in bags, which I have a double bag over. This one is a carry-on. I can go on a plane with that one. This one I got to check it in because it's like, okay, carry on here. This one, that's too big to fit in the overhead compartment or under the seat. So you got to check this one in. I've heard it said years ago, like if you have wrinkles in bags, just bring down your eyeliner. I mean your eyeshadow color, because it'll help camouflage some of that. And I was just like, And it sounds good. But if I do that and my eyes tear, it's going to be way noticeable. Because now when it tears, it'll just be like this area here. And I'll be like, y'all see all that water in there? Now imagine if my eyeshadow came down to here. Like, it would just be a mess. But that would be a chance I would be willing to take, because sometimes my eyes don't tear and then sometimes they do. Right now I'm feeling a little chilly. And then like in another 20 minutes, I'll be like, oh, I'm starting to sweat. And the fan, this oscillating fan, I'm glad I bought it because it does make a difference and it does feel really good. When I get ready to go to bed, I put it on 79. And sometimes even during the day, my thermostat is on 79. And if I turn the fan off, well, it'll be, the temperature in here will say 77 degrees. Even though my thermostat will be set on 79. And I'll turn the fan off, and then the temperature will go up to 78 and then 79, excuse me. And then I'll turn the fan back on and it'll drop back down to 78. So y'all, the fans really do be working. I want to take this further down, and the reason I'm saying that is because that will ensure that I bring my eyeshadow down further. And I think part of it, I think I need to use a thicker brush, like maybe something like this. But we'll see. Or be real bold and use this thick ass brush. Maybe we'll do that. I haven't used that one in a while. I still keep wondering if I want to do a brush declutter, because there's just brushes that I don't use on a regular basis. But then when I use them, I'm like, wow, this is a really nice brush. But then I still don't use it. So this is that. We're going to, later on, if I don't forget, we're going to put white on just the tear duct area like we had did before. And I pulled out the Lethal mascara. This one is called Capacity, and it's a white. So let's prime the eye. I was gonna say, did I do the intro? Yeah, girl, you did the intro. Yeah, I did. So I was going to say it again, like, did I do the intro? Because usually I used to always do it. Well, I used to usually do the intro when I prime my lids. And so that's why I'm like, what? And we're going to bring the shadow out. We're going to bring it out. So, yeah, I don't know why that song popped into my head today. It's like the weirdest thing. Because I'm like, I mean, out of all songs, I posted on my community tab. I was watching Bestie's video, her cooking video for members only, and I was eating my lunch when I was watching it. And so I took a picture of it. I heated up chili. I took a container of chili out the freezer that I had made before because you can't make a little bit of chili. And so I took it out 2 days ago and put it in the refrigerator. So that was thawed actually yesterday. And so I heated that up and I put it on top of spicy sweet chili Doritos. And so sort of like, what is that? What is it? Nachos. So it's sort of like nachos. I ended up not even using a spoon at all because I was scooping it with the nachos. The Doritos, excuse me. It was so good. And I was like, damn, I want some more. But I only took out one container, which is like 1 serving. So instead of putting it on top of rice, I put it over top of the Doritos. And I've done that before with the Cool Ranch Doritos. And I'm like, this is so good. So good. And then I watched, not quite a documentary, but it was a 20-minute video. I forget the channel, and it was on Grace Jones. And I was like, wow. So I posted that on my community tab saying this is a perfect example of being your authentic self. Because when she first came out, as far as, you know, trying to model, stuff like that, she was told, you know, her skin is too dark, they couldn't sell her features were too strong, blah, blah, blah. Look at her now. Look at her now. So she set a standard. And there's other, you know, models and, you know, singers, you know, that try to imitate. Well, not imitate, but they picked up on her vibe and emulate, that's the word. And some of them, you know, what they wear, you know, the makeup they do, it's like, okay, that's been inspired by Grace Jones. We can tell, because she was the only one that did what she did. Sort of like Tina Turner. Like, she's the only one that could do what she did. But, yes, I put that on my community tab. I did watch Day After Tomorrow. I got in bed and put it on the YouTube channel. And I thought I was going to go to sleep because I was sleepy. But that's such a good movie. I didn't fall asleep. And it's a 2-hour movie. I didn't fall asleep, I don't think, until maybe like 4 this afternoon, y'all. And I had told that lady I would get information back to her, but I slept all day. Well, not all day, but that was groundwork, thank God. I'm just like, girl, I should have put on one of Hung Vangle's videos, which I love, but he is so soothing and calming. It's like ASMR. I wanted to put the black on too, so I probably shouldn't have put on groundwork. I forgot about that. We're going to use the same brush. Yeah. So when I see movies that I think are interesting and that I think are good, I do put them, and they're free on YouTube. I will post them on my community tab. And so, you know, to give you something to see. My little great in every hat friend, shout out to you. She commented in agreement that that was a really good movie. One of my favorite scenes was when Dennis Quaid, he was walking trying to get to New York. And the wind was blowing, the eye of the storm was coming. And so you saw the flag was blowing and then it just dropped. And that was the eye of the storm because there was like no breeze, no nothing. And he looked up and he was watching it. It was blowing and it stopped. So he, you know, did what he needed to do, you know, to get to safety, and his walking buddy that was with him. And right before, you know, he threw his buddy down a hole. Then right before he jumped in, the flag picked up again. It was blowing, and then it went because it froze. I was just like, that scene, y'all. And I was just, that's one of my favorite scenes in that movie. And, you know, switching gears to movie genres. In the movie, one of the Alien movies, what was it? It wasn't Alien versus Predator. Was it the one with Sanaa Lathan? That is not her name. Yeah, it is. and I forget the other dude's name. And they left a team down in the sacrificial chamber, and when the little creatures came out, it came out of the pod, and the workers was like, and so they jumped up, and one went this way, one went that way, and they did a slow motion. It wasn't fast. It was like then it slowed down and went and picked up again. That's one of my favorite scenes. Just the effect of that was just like, whoa. I really like that. And that's kind of how the flag scene was. So it starts out slow, or it was just like, then it dropped, and then it started, then it went and just froze. I was like, man, he jumped down the hole, because he knew he was a climatologist, and so he knew about storms and stuff. But I was just like, dang. So scenes like that, I'm just like, wow. We are going to put black on top of this. I just want to make sure I'm taking it up high enough. It took me a long time to learn how to work with the paint pots, because you see I'm just on a little at a time, because if you put too much and it starts to dry, that's what you got. Like, I'm looking at the shapes, like that's what you got. Like, because once it starts to dry, it ain't gonna move. And so I did tap in just a little bit before I put more out here, because this will ensure that I'm taking the shadow out, because we're going to cover it. I'm looking at these shapes. This one is more blended upward. This one is not. We're going to see if we can feather it before we put more shadow on it. And I could put this under my lower lash line, but like I said, when it dries, it dries. And like, I don't really want, we're just going to tap in really lightly and then feather like right here, because this side is feathered up to the brow and this side is not. And I could take a smaller pencil brush. This is not a pencil brush, but I could take a brush like this and do the same thing to get into like where there's no shadow right here. Well, not shadow, but shadow base. But that's where we're going to put the white. And so I was able to get a little bit in there, but we're going to put that white there and maybe top it with liner. So I'm still looking at how high up it is to see if it's pretty much even. And this could be your look. Do your black lipstick and mascara if you want. I wouldn't do false lashes because they wouldn't show up, but I'm going to use the white eyeliner because that will definitely pop. So this is what we're working with. I'm looking at the shapes again, because whatever shape you got, that's what you got. Boy, so what else did I do today since I've been out? I'm like, what I do today, and I ain't go to sleep until, I would say I went to bed at around 2, because that movie's 2 hours long. So I didn't go to sleep till after 4 p.m. But prior to that time, we're going to turn the brush over, because I want to feather here, but I don't want to take the color up higher. I don't want to take the paint pot up higher. This is in Black Mirror. And so, yeah, the shapes are looking decent. Yeah, but before I got into bed at 2 p.m., I did a lot of stuff, because I didn't expect her to get back to me that quick, and I reached out to 2 other event hosts too. So we're gonna put that down. All right, we're gonna go into my 669 dupe palette, and we're gonna take Transmutation, this black right here. We're going to use, excuse me, Hourglass number 3, since we're doing, our entire lid. And so we're just going to pack this on for no other reason than just to intensify it from where I blended it out. And so you can see the difference between where I put the shadow here and there's no shadow there. Like, it does make it look a little bit darker. Putting a black shadow on top. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it will start creasing. You see that? Because my crease is under the hood, my puffy transition area. And so I still would have to set it with something. But putting on the powder shadow, that takes care of that. You're tapping straight in, because we're going to come along this line right here and feather across here. My Why is that looking reddish right there? Like right here. Why is it looking like that? I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just like, why? Like, how did that happen? We're like, why did that happen? So we're putting this on. Y'all, look at that crease. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that out. I'm tapping straight in. And let's go directly into the crease. Y'all, it's still a slight crease. It's going to be there. And because my crease is under the fold, it's like once the Fenty liner or the paint pot goes in there, and once it dries, sometimes it does make my shadow look creasy because the product itself creased. And that's why I do usually pat out my primer right before I put on shadow, because it will crease in my crease. This side did not. So let's do some directly in the crease, just because we did the other side. This is nice, y'all. I'm gonna tap straight in, tap off, and come across here. And tapping straight in, we're gonna come out here. Tapping straight in, tapping off, and we're gonna come out here. So that's something to learn too. And I know, and I can feel it when it's going to start creasing before I, you know, pat it on, put shadow on, because I'll be talking. I'm like, oh, let me hurry up and put shadow on, because I feel my lids, I feel this part of the lid sticking to my mobile lid. You know, I'm like, I need to hurry up and put shadow on because I could feel it sticking. And the Fenty primer is not a tacky primer for everybody. I sent one to one person. They said it wasn't tacky. But they did like it. But, you know, they said it was okay. And then somebody else won one from me in a giveaway. And for them, it was tacky. And they really like it too because of how it holds shimmers and metallics. You know, I don't use glitter glue. I don't use glitter primer. And people say use a tacky base. I say, well, for me, Fenty is a tacky primer. So what are you saying? And if you've seen my looks, like you see that it's they stick and they stay. Y'all, I don't have any fallout. I'm thinking about that look that that person did. It was fallout galore. And I'm like, I don't have none. And we used a black on top of, I like that, on top of just the Fenty primer. But she set the primer with powder, so it wasn't anything for the shadow to stick to. I kind of want to take some of this now for like under my eye, but I don't know if I want to use this brush. Or we're going to feather it first. Where's this brush? This LaRouche brush. I do like this for lower lash line because it does lay down color nicely for my lower lash line. It says it's a shader brush, but for putting shadow on my lid, this was just too flimsy. And I almost threw it away. It was they were having an amazing sale, and that's why I bought it. And it didn't look flimsy on the site. And so I purchased 2 of them, but I was going to throw them away. And I said, let me just keep using it to see, you know, if I can find a purpose for it. And so when I tried it for my lower lash line, I was like, okay, this will be a lower lash line brush. Especially for matte, because it does just lay. Part of me is like, girl, do a popping liner, but that's not an emo look. I am really liking this. Quite a few of the pictures, they did put on dramatic lashes. Some had cluster lashes, and they were longer, and they put them on lower lash lines, so that looked really nice. They put like one here, one here, one here. And I thought maybe I'll do that. And some did, you know, designs, you know, on their, like under their lash line. And so there's different things to do to make it your own. John Jacob. Yo, I don't know why or where in my memory that song came from. Whenever we go out, we hear the people shout, John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. La, 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 la. That is just so silly to me. And I'm just like, why the hell am I singing that song? We're going to take an ESO E49 and we're going to go into, are they the same? Is the spacing the same? Let me take that brush that had the transmutation. We're not going back in with shadow. We're just going to put this up here. And now I'm thinking I should take the E45. Yo, this look right here. And it's so simple. Let's put on black shadow. I'm looking at the shapes now between here and the brow. So I'm thinking to take a smaller brush. Every time I go to do that, when I look up, I see something different. We're gonna just feather up here, and I keep trying to tell myself don't worry about it because we're gonna put a red up there. So like, does it really matter that the shapes are or are not, or the spacing isn't the same? I am thinking this one, but now I'm thinking of the E45. But we're gonna take this one because it is gonna overlap the black. But I still let's switch to the E45. That is this one, and we're going to tap into this. This shade is Frantic. And we're going to start in here, the top edge of that black. This is why I like this brush. This was a better choice than the E49, which is more fluffy. Because this right here, you see how it's right on the line. Oh, man. That is nice. Yo, oh my gosh. Wow. I'm loving this. Oh, good grief, Charlie Brown. That is nice. Should I wrap it around? Oh my word. Y'all, oh my gosh. I was debating too whether to put black in my brows. The paint pot in my brows. Because that would make it darker, because not doing much in here. Yeah, I want to do something with that. I don't know if I want to do, I'm going to put eyeshadow in there. That's what I'm going to do. And not do, I just tapped into the black. Alright, so we'll just still put that here because it has a red in it and a black. So now we're going to tap back into the red. And we just tapped in twice, just the tip of the brush, so I can get it right where I want it. Oh, this is nice. I'm wondering if I want to wrap it around. Wow. Y'all, this is nice. And y'all know this is my vibe. You know what? I could have did this with Notoriously Morbid Eternal Beauties palette. But we're in our lethal series, our color combination series. So that's going to help me use, excuse me, my lethal cosmetics this month. I like this, y'all. Oh my gosh. We're going to feather this upward, not adding more on the brush. Look at my face, y'all. I am feeling it. And a black lip too. Some had a red lip. Some had what looked like almost an ombre lip with black and just a little bit of red. Oh my gosh, y'all. I love this brush because it lets me put it exactly. One of them, lower lash line, they had on a blue, and I'm just like, that's interesting. So I think we're going to do that. And I did like looking at the different looks. This is nice. Wow, I do want to do something with my brows. We're going to take this brush that we use for lower lash line. We're going to go into transmutation. This is too wide for over here. So we are going to, I'm thinking to just put the black paint pot there. But then it won't look natural, which it's not going to look natural because a lot of their brows in the looks were kind of blocked off. Now this is working. Because I do kind of like where they are, and when it's feathered in here, it does look natural, but it's still, you know, it's not in the same place, but it doesn't look that off because it is lighter with just the hair there. Okay, we're gonna leave this part of the brow alone. Who was I watching? I forgot. I do catch some of the replay for KK's lives, and the ones that I've popped into and looked at as replay crew is she'll see a look and she'll recreate it. And I remember when I used to say, you know, when you recreate a look, it's never going to look exactly the same. Hers be looking exactly the same. I was like, okay, I'm a liar. So I just call my recreations, you know, inspired by. But she'll show a picture and she will do the damn thing, and it looks like the picture, and I'm like, wow. It's like, okay, I'm a liar. I hear it. Okay, I accept. I accept. All right, so this is what. That's kind of nice. That is nice. So this is transmutation. It's nice. Yo, I'm just like, and y'all know this is my element too. Black. We are going to take a blue to blow out lower lash line. I want to take the black down further. We want to take this brush. Do I want to just still use? Let's see with the other brush that we used and see if we can, if this will blow it down. And it'll depend on if I bring it further down, bring the brush down. Ooh, so it's almost like a sickle. I think I said earlier, I'm not even sure. I say stuff y'all be forgetting. And that's Makeup Corner. She brings her lower lash line down too. Ooh, 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 which is nice. Y'all get excited like that when y'all do y'all makeup? You just be like, ooh. You're like, wow. Like when I'm putting it on, I'm just looking specifically at what I'm doing. When I look up here, I'm looking at the whole thing, and that's when I'm like, ooh. Is it like that for y'all too? Because I'm looking at the brush going across my lower lash line. I'm not looking at anything else. Or even when I look back there, I'm like, oh, the mirror that's back there. It's like, wow. Y'all, and this is easy for me. Because whether something's easy or not is relative. But it's still time consuming. Like, I'm looking at the time. Oh, shoot, y'all. Thank you for being here. We're at like 46 minutes and it's not anything to be edited out. So that blue, we're going to take the other brush like this. Wow. And put this underneath. And as I said, the Emo looks, it is thick black eyeliner. So we are on point with that. I'm just trying to fill in like where it looked like it was a hole. I do still think I'm going to put black on the upper lash line. I'm going to use the Lethal Black, and that is called Y2K, even though you're not really going to be able to see it. And so I'm just trying to get rid of where that little peak is, which means bringing it down further. Okay. Okay. So we have two of these brushes. We're going to take the other one and put the blue down. I didn't show y'all. Did I show y'all? I don't think I showed y'all my last. And the shapes of the shadow is the same, the outer corners. So we're gonna take a clean one. We're gonna go into Rainbow Orchid, and we're going to take, I think they used a lighter blue than this one for some reason. We can put the, did we use that one? Yeah. Did we? Did I use this brush? Nope. I'm thinking it was a lighter blue than that. I'm looking in this one, but the blue is brighter, but it's a shimmer. I'm gonna take this blue down here, which is called Nightshade, and we're gonna, this is a clean one, and we're just tapping straight in, and we're going to go along the bottom line of that black. Yeah, the other blue was lighter because it was noticeable that it was a pale blue. And she did like a, not quite a tear mark, but it was like some kind of something that she did. Ooh. Wow. I am digging this, y'all. So I am excited for the September event and the October event. Y'all might be tired. Because one in October is 8 to 1 a.m. the next day they're starting at 4 p.m. and that's going to a 1 p.m. the next morning. And I do know someone in the area that I might be like, hey, can I just sleep over here tonight? And they have let me do that before when I was working 2 back-to-back nights at the Playhouse, because to come home, which I would sleep better if I was home, but still having to get up and be down there for, you know, I'll think about it. And it depends on how much money I make, because it costs me $40 round trip in gas and tolls to get there and back. So it depends on the money too. But I don't want to ask her, can I stay? And then I don't stay. You know what I mean? Because then she'll get excited and then be like, oh, okay. We're going to put this white and we're going to cover it with a silver. So I just want to put this right here, because I liked when I did this before. I was like, wow, that looks really nice. That looks like a blob. That's not what I wanted. Sometimes I do have problems dealing with pencil eyeliners in this area. Lower lash line is fine, just go straight across, but just trying to, because you see how like my skin is moving, and so that's what the issue is. And so it's better for me to come down, start down and go upward, because trying to start upward, it just moves my skin. So that's what the problem is. Down here is easier because I'm just going down, but this is what I was going for. But since the other side is thick, and we're going to make this side thicker, and again we are going to put shadow on top. And it looks like I came further in here too. Y'all, I'm loving this look. And the other side is more tapered up here, like this area up here. Why did I just hit my lip? It's nice. Yo, why this person I know, we have a history. He lives in Atlanta, and he didn't know they call it Hotlanta. And I'm gonna tell you how I know. When we were having our heat wave, he was like, oh my gosh, it's so hot down here, it's like 104 degrees, whatever. I said, well, they don't call it Hotlanta for a reason. And he sent back laughing emojis. And I'm like, no, seriously, they call it Hotlanta. And he was like, oh. But anyway, when he texted me this morning, I was like, I'm ready to go to sleep. And he was like, oh, should I come tuck you in? I said, that question is irrelevant because you live in Atlanta. I deal with reality. So like stuff like that, I just be like, that don't even make sense. And you can just drive up here and be here in 20 minutes. So we're going to take this shade here, which is Inhabit. Is that the one? Yeah, that was the one we're going to use. I kind of want to put a gray there instead of this light shade. Because it looks like a pale gold yellow to me. And what I saw in the looks, it was a white for the ones who did that. But I'm thinking just to take this and keep it dark. Let's put this on, and then I may top it with the other one. This is Rise from the Ashes. So we're going to just go straight in, because we're putting this right on top of the white. I did not tap off. Yeah, we're going to go over with that other shade. Because even though the looks were dark, where there was color, it was noticeable color. You know what I'm saying? But this, yeah, I could have did this with Eternal Beauties. So this is really nice. But my Amelia popping out. We put a light shade on top of it. We're going to put that brush away. We're going to take a clean one, and we're going to go into Inhabit, this shade. And we're going to put that on top of the gray. And that's that. Lightened it a little bit. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me know if you would do a look like this, because this is something I would wear out if I was going somewhere. Not necessarily a party, but like a family gathering, a family dinner, you know, something like that. I would wear this. I do like this. I really like this. I just want this part to look a little more blended over here. I like it. Hey, Mikey. Upper lash line, we're going to Y2K. And I was thinking just to put MAC's paint pot and cap, black mirror on top, which I could do, but no, let's just do this one. That would be easier. Let's just do this one. Find one of the little lethal brushes, one of the stained ones. Okay, take my water out. We're gonna mix this. Well, not mix it, but put water on the brush. Tap the brush off, and then put the brush into the liner. So this is the liner. I've already started putting water in it. Well, on the brush, and then I just, you know, move this around in the pan. And when it starts to feel like it's drying just a little bit, that's when I will put it on my lid. Y'all see that crease? And then ain't nothing I can do about it. I don't even know if this really matters because the eye is so dark. Actually, I can see it though. And there's like a dip right here. We took care of that almost. If you see little silver things, like right there, and over there, I bought binder clips because my mirror was causing it to blow around and it was sliding down. And I put a clip over here that's attached to the curtain where the kitchen is. And I only had one clip, so I'm like, shoot, I need to go get more clips. Because I'm like, that was a good idea. Because it keeps it from blowing. Especially this side, which is the side that's open. The fan was just blowing it open, and that's what was causing it to slide down in the front. And so when I was out the other day, I went to Staples and got some binder clips, large binder clips. Yo, they were almost $8. I was just like, damn. And it was only like 8 in there. And I'm just like, yes, our prices is going up, y'all. Listen, when I put more water on the brush. And so we're manipulating the water liner with the water. I was going to get some chicken thighs and use those to put in salads sometimes or to make a burrito bowl. But chicken thighs, it was 8 in the pack. It was like almost $20. I'm like, when did that happen? And I noticed also, like at BJ's, it'll be like a 3-pack of wings, a 3-pack of chicken breasts, and it's taped to another 3-pack, so there's 6 packs. How come now for the same price they're not taping them together? Now it's just 3 packs for the same price that 6 packs used to be. And I was just like, I don't know. And I do prefer thighs over chicken breast, because to me chicken breast, you're getting dry. I like to make sure my chicken is cooked. And because thighs do have some fat on them, I do trim the fat, some of it. It's always going to be moist even if it's overcooked. Whereas chicken breast, for me, just always be dry. And I do have a food thermometer, but still, I'm like, I don't want to get sick. So I didn't buy any chicken breasts. I'm just like, chicken thighs. And one of my friends told me they might end up being a vegetarian. They went to get a T-bone steak at the Amish market. And she's like, guess how much it was? I was being smart. And I know that ribeyes at BJ's, it might be 2 in a pack, 3 in a pack. It might be almost $40. So she said she was looking at the T-bone steak. She said, how much you think it was? I said about $40. She went, how do you know that? And I'm like, wait. I said, I was just saying that. Are you serious? She said, yeah, the T-bone steak was almost $40. And she was saying she might end up being a vegetarian. The way these meat prices is going up. I'm just like, and so I thought about that when I'm looking at this chicken, like, I don't remember it being this high. And then I'm reducing the amount of packs for the chicken breast. I'm just like, Because usually in salads, I'll dump either like canned salmon, canned chicken, albacore, But once in a while I would, you know, cook a steak in my air fryer, you know, chop that up, well, cube it up, put that in my salads. And the same with chicken thighs. Cook one or two in my air fryer, cube it up, put it in my salad. But you know what? I said if I just be on this canned kick. So what else for the... Alright, so we're gonna put on this white mascara only just so it'll pop. And I could have did a white liner too, but I'm like, no, let me just do this. So you see what I'm saying? This is gonna make it pop. And so some prices I've noticed stuff has started going up. And some stuff, to my surprise, is still the same. Oh, I like that. Excuse me, do I remember when I told you I bought a melon? And my neighbor was like, that's not ripe yet? Because I never bought a whole melon before. Never in my life. Or a whole pineapple, and I bought one of those too. So she said, put it in a paper bag in a dark place. And so it's under my sink in a paper bag. And she said, when you start to smell it, that's when it's ripe. Now, how long ago was that when I purchased that? I very faintly smell it. So and I did check it the other day, like, okay, is it, you know, getting moldy out here? Because it's been under there all this time. It still ain't ripe yet. And part of me is like, just go ahead and cut it open. But I'm gonna ask her about that, because I'm just like, and I have sensitive sinuses too, so I can't imagine, like, if I asked her to smell it and she smelled it and I still didn't. Ooh, look at this, look at this. I am very interested in their other colorful mascaras. One, they would only show up over certain upper lash line liner colors, and depending on what eyeshadow colors I use. So like if I had their black one, this wouldn't show up. You know what I mean? And they have red. I don't know if the red is a deep red. They have a green. I don't know how bold those shades are. And the PAO, I think, is 6 months. And actually the PAO for this is the 24th of July. And I know I didn't even use half of this yet. And so, as much as I like it, I think I would get it again. But that's what deters me against getting the other colors. Like, one, is it going to show up? And number two, I know I'm not going to use it in 6 months. And so that means wasted. I will use it till they start to irritate my eyes, but this, it makes my eyes look droopier because it's weighing down my lashes. I'm looking at this like, girl. All right, we're going to do our black lip. Do I want to do an ombre lip? I really think I do. But is that going to be too much with the... Look at me talking about something too much. Excuse me for smacking. This is removing just some of the lip oil. So we're going to take Nightbird. Are we going to... I think we are going to take the red. Always red. We're going to put that in the center. Matte burgundy red. I was thinking always red, but we might do this one. Thank you for being here, y'all. And I know I have it. And it's called, the name of it is Always Red. This is Always Red. Matte red, matte classic red. This is matte burgundy red. Let's pick the black one. I kind of don't know which one of these I want to use. I kind of want to do the red, but then I might just put the black one and be like, Or I could take... Nah, I was thinking we could take one of these shadows and put on top. Beware of the frosted donut look. So this is Nightbird. So we're gonna do our lip line. What do y'all think of the Smurf collection from Fenty? Y'all know I'm not interested in it. I like the looks of that new coral or whatever lip gloss bomb. But I know if I put it on, it wouldn't be a color. And I don't wear lip glosses often. I'm just going to come in here just a little bit, whatever's left on the tip of the brush. Yeah, my lips is all supposed to be crooked, and they're just naturally crooked. You bring this side down, make it look even, even though it's really not. So do I want to take the burgundy or the red? I want to do the, we're going to do the red. And I'm thinking, no. I'm going to take this. And what I could have did was, I could have put this on here. This is from City Lips. And this is one of the new ones that they sent me, raspberry. It says soft shimmer berry red. So maybe we'll put this on the center. Let's just see. So this is number 97 Red Desert, described as a matte burgundy red. And we're gonna start this inside. Ooh, this is vampy. I knew it was gonna be. A black and reddish kind of lip. I'm glad I did choose this one instead of always red. Oh, I like that. Oh. Just trying to get the coloring the same. Like how I look at the distance up here, I'm looking at the distance between the color red and the black here and over here. Yo, I love this. Y'all know I'm gonna do this again one day, right? Wow. I don't know if it's lighting or what, but this side looks more red. Like this patch right here. But I'm gonna just stop. Wow, y'all, this white mascara though, I'm kind of like, because to me it's taken away from the vampiness of the lip. And we're gonna put the Esam, not the Esam, we're gonna take Esam, the mascara, and we're just gonna put this on top. Hopefully it will go over top of it. We're going to leave the bottom lashes like they are. I'm wiggling it, okay, at the, what am I trying to say? As close to the base of the lashes as I can get, and wiggling it so it'll go between the lashes. I don't mind that some of the tips are still white. What do I? I'm going to do the other side. It just going like this, y'all. It wasn't doing nothing. Like that lethal, when it dries, and my lashes don't be feeling crispy, but when it dries, like if you're gonna do a second coat, you better do it right away. Because I'm wiggling and also bringing the brush upward at the same time to get it through the lashes. Because just trying to just go straight, it's like, no. You put us here, we're gonna stay white. They're telling me don't discriminate. So the show and trial is over. Now they just need to do sentencing. And I understand, you know, family being excited for not guilty on some of the counts. But I'm still like, I'm just trying to, like, as his kids, particularly his daughters, well, and his sons too, because as a parent, you're a role model. And I'm thinking of like all the stuff they've seen and heard, and I'm just like how do you process that or do you just dismiss it? You know what I'm saying? Someone asked if he was going to be on the essay registry, and that I don't know. And they didn't know at the time either, like if the judge was going to say that or not. But I hadn't even thought about that, and that's ironic because I used to work with essay offenders. But that's something I didn't think about. Honestly, I tried to not think too much about it. Alright, so we're just going to leave this like this. There is still some white up here, but that is okay. This is a long video. And y'all like, girl, all your videos long. I love it with the white underneath. I got loud. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, this is our first emo look. We are going to do another one. My thought is to get up early enough to do a look before I go to the event. But at least we'll have this one to put on my page. To put on my Fat Life page. I'm loving this lip. Y'all know I'm gonna do this again. Excuse me. I was gonna say let's do pictures, but we've been here long enough. So we're gonna go. Stuff is popping up over here for you to watch. Excuse me for that glare. Thank you for being here, and like, subscribe, comment, and consider joining the membership. And feel free to share my videos as well. Always a lot of information below. You will see me next time.